Hello, everyone. Hey, Shriram, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Shriram. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so let me start the webinar.
Yes, sir.
All right, everyone in the call, very good afternoon, good evening, good morning. My name is Ashok Veda. I work as a lead mentor with DataMites. Today in this session, we have Shriram with us. Shriram has joined DataMites in February 2023 and completed the data analyst course, certified data analyst course. Now he has joined the company as a data analyst successfully. So he has made his career transition. This session is about the success story of Shriram to understand his experience both in learning, studying, and how did he successfully transition to the career. Shriram, congratulations again.
Thank you, sir, once again.
Right. I'm gonna make you the host. See if you can switch on the video.
No, sir. It's showing not disabled the video.
Try again. Try again. You are the host now. You should be able to do that.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Good to see you.
Thank you, sir.
Please go ahead, Shriram. Introduce yourself, your profile, before you started your journey towards data analysis.
Okay, sir. My name is Shriram Bhat. I did a graduation in mechanical engineering. I completed it in 2021, and I have a 1.3 year of mechanical engineering experience. Later that I left my job and I joined the DataMites on February 2023. And in August, I got the job, sir, in Crossroad Elf company.
Wonderful. Why did you want to do a data analyst? Why do you want to pursue this career?
Sir, because the data is belong to everything, sir. Like with the data we can analysis on the data analysis tend to a business intelligence, and we can improve our business. And in previous company we use lot of data to design something we want for a customer. So because of that I love to using the data, how to use the data so that we can increase our growth of our organization. We are giving our something to organization so that they can improve through the data, sir.
Right, pretty right. I mean, data is a new oil, and any career linked to data analyst, data scientist is very booming. It's a very good
Yes,
job,
sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
So, when you had like choice of becoming a data scientist, data analyst, why specifically
Yes.
you have selected data analyst? Why not data scientist?
Sir, I belong to a mechanical engineering where I don't know about much about the code, because in data scientist it's like machine learning. We have to know Python, we have to know in depth. But as a data analyst, we have to know some basic knowledge of Pythons and SQL, which is easily to understand. And later on that I can, with experience of data analyst, I can switch to data science as well. So I thought of starting with career in data analyst first, then I can switch to data scientist later on.
Very valid choice. That's right. Well, data scientists tend to be more technical. You are supposed to know a bit more.
Yes.
Well, I don't say that people do not have a background of programming cannot go to data scientists, because a lot many people do, actually, more than 50%, I would say. But it's
Yeah.
also a very wise choice. If
Yes, sir.
you don't know the programming and you're not interested, at least not in short term, to learn significant programming. Like some people don't like to code that much, right? But still they'll be very interested to do the data analysis, because they're two different things. We have a lot of tools where you can do
Yes, sir.
all kinds of, including a machine learning modeling can be done without uh, actually coding, right? It's a very wise choice.
Yes, sir.
How was the program, data analyst? What are the things you learned? How was the program with DataMites?
Sir, it was nice, sir. Like we have started with Excel, then we have switched to SQL querying, then we have switched to Tableau and Power BI. It was nice, sir. Like in training, it was good.
Okay. So it did have a Python, but at the basic level, isn't it?
Yeah, I also studied some like basic on Python. pandas and NumPy we have studied, sir.
Have you guys also done the machine learning?
No, sir. Like we didn't go in depth, but we use only Orange tool for that.
So you did the machine learning, but you did not do through Python, right? You used
Yeah,
another
yeah.
tool to do the machine learning, which means
Yes,
you
sir.
are aware of the regression, classification, clustering, and all of this.
Yes, sir.
Okay, wonderful. So how long this was? Like what was the phase one, phase two duration for data analysts?
So like from February to May, it was like classroom training. After that, we did some project and some internship was happened till the July. After that, gone to a placement and placement, sir. Placement. I got placed on August, sir. In August, I got the placement.
August, so last month. Okay, wonderful. So it's a 4 months of phase two, and then you got the projects and internship phase, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. The phase two is essentially key concepts, and then you go into the projects. What kind of projects you have done, Shriram?
So like one thing is like one simple sales analysis, then HR analysis we done, and some production analysis we done, sir. Projects based on SQL and Power BI.
So you did learn SQL, right? That's very
Yes, sir.
important for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Which means you are capable of connecting to the databases and get the data for the analysis.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the toughest part in your learning? There are many things you have learned, right? Statistics, you have learned all the data basics. You also learned machine learning using a tool. You learned probably Tableau and other things as well as uh, the one you mentioned right now. So, what are the parts of data analyst you find it difficult to learn for someone who is starting with this career?
So like Power BI and Tableau we can learn easily, sir. It's a like tool. We have to command it and we'll get the output. But in SQL query, we have to put some logic so that we can join the table or we need an output from that table. So I think for SQL we have to need more logic and we have to have more practice the things in SQL querying.
So, okay, you basically find a SQL as a bit challenging because it requires a lot
Yes, sir.
to be written. All right.
Yes, yes.
How about statistics, Sriram? How was this, the learning of statistics?
So statistics was good, sir. Like I have some basic knowledge on statistics, and when I joined this course, I the knowledge has become advanced in the statistics, sir. That's what I want to say. Like we have learned some outliers, what is outlier concept, skewed, and many things we have learned from statistics, which are not taught in our college days or school days.
Yeah. This is one thing I hear from the mechanical folks, right? So you guys have good statistics already in your academics. Many of the mechanical students
Yes, sir.
become successful becoming data scientists. They always say that statistics is a relatively easy part for them because I think in your academics, statistics is already there to significant extent.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Wonderful.
yes,
All
sir.
right. So tell me about your interview process. Like once you have completed your project, okay, what's your job ready score? There is a job ready score, I guess you went through. What was your job ready score? How was this the process of attending this job ready assessment?
Sir, like job ready score is around like above 6, I think. I'm not sure about that score exactly. Uh, I have taken some 2 mock interviews for the job ready. After second mock interview, I cleared that mock interview round, and I go and after that, they given a chance for the interview, sir, in client company. It was my first interview. I cleared that interview, sir.
Yeah, that's interesting. You cleared in the first interview. That's
Yes,
very
sir.
good. Okay. So you do not have a failure experience to discuss with. Okay.
Uh,
Okay, great. So what's the company you currently okay, I see that it's Crossroad Elf, right?
yes, sir. ELF, yes.
And the role is data analyst.
Training data analyst, sir. They are now we are going to training, sir. Like they are training on Power BI in advanced level.
All right. And then it will be considered as a data analyst after the training.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. What was the questions being asked in the interview? Is there anything you would like to share? If not the actual questions, but the methodology and stuff which could be helpful for the people who are preparing for this?
Okay, so like about basics of databases and SQL queries, and about Power BI, how the Power BI visualization. They will ask about this. That's the question they have asked for me.
Did they ask questions in statistics specifically?
Uh, they ask some basic questions. That's also not in specific, like in depth. They didn't ask. They ask about more about the Power BI and SQL queries and basics of databases.
Yeah, mostly they are focused on the tool, Power BI or Tableau. I think your company is using Power BI, but some might use Tableau
Yes,
along with the SQL because that's what,
sir.
right? Any suggestion you have? You are a fresher, isn't it? I mean, you have 1 year experience, I guess, but not in data analyst related.
Yeah, I am fresher in data analyst. Yes, sir.
So I see from your resume that you've been working as a design engineer for only a
Yes,
few
sir.
months, right? So from September, it's not few
No,
months,
sir. 1 year, 3 months.
1 year, 3 months as a design
Yes,
engineer, where you are actually
yes,
doing
sir.
the product specification, creating digital prints and stuff like that, 3D modeling.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So from a data analyst perspective, you are new to the market.
Yeah, new to the market.
Very good. Very good. I think we have all the information. I will open up the channel for questions. Maybe we can discuss more based on the question because I see a lot of people um, confused about selecting between data analyst and data scientist. You made a choice wisely because rightly said that data scientist is more coding intensive, not really coding intensive, but it compared to data analysts, you do need a bit of coding and you're going to write data science models, machine learning models in Python. Whereas data analyst kind of covers all the aspects of being a data scientist without Python coding, right? So you mostly work on the business data and bring in insights for the business, which is
Yes, sir.
very interesting without the coding part. So your decision is very clear, and most people actually kind of struggle between to make a decision. So maybe we'll see if there are any questions coming in there. We'll discuss further. So um, I'm going to open the channel for everyone to ask the questions. Please go ahead and of course ask DataMites team to copy paste the questions from other channels, LinkedIn and YouTube, etc. In the meantime, how is your current working? You're still in learning more advanced Power BI in your current
Yes,
company.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, wonderful. All right. Yeah. Anything to share? Yes, please go ahead.
No, sir. Like, I want to say one thing. Like, if you want to become a data analyst, you have to practice more, sir. Like, using different types of data sets,
Where
so
did
that
you
we
find
can
this
get
data
more
set?
knowledge. Different types of data set, like different scenario based business scenario. We have to take and we have to analyze that. So analyze using the visualization, so that we can get depth knowledge in the tools, sir.
Okay. I have a question from Naveen. Naveen, please go ahead. You can ask using your mic.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, Naveen, please
Ah,
go ahead.
yes,
Yeah, yeah. So congratulations first to Sriram. So I have a question. Like I have around 10 years of experience, and I recently completed the course in data mines. So how would
yes.
experienced person of around 10 years of has to go into this interview process, or how should I prepare? Is the As you
The
told, you have to work on different data sets. Yeah, that's true. But for 10 years, like how would it would be?
Sriram, you can answer it, then I'll add because it's 10 years. I would be more able to answer it better. But you can add your part, then I'll add it after you, Sriram.
okay, sir. Okay, sure. Like you said, you have 10 year of experience. The situation is like they will be asking the past 10 year experience, and also you should also know the, if you want to switch the career in data analyst, you should know the basics of that databases, SQLs, and Power BI. And if you want to switch in data science, means you have to know your clear cut of understanding of Power Python's machine learning, so that you should or not only certification, we should also know in-depth knowledge, and you should also know practical applications of that when you ask in some questions in interview, so that you can easily answerable for that questions. I want to say like that.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Shriram. To add to that, Naveen, typically 10 years means you have significant experience. If you look at data analyst, can be also called as business analyst. Uh, Most of the knowledge, like 50% of the knowledge as a data analyst or business analyst, comes from business side. You be working as 10 years into, may I know which area you're working? What's your current profile?
I'm into automation QA.
Okay, wonderful.
I'm working as a test lead. So yeah.
Wonderful. So you're already dealing with a lot of test cases, data, and you understand how the business work. Because when you work in 10 years, you understand
Right.
how the businesses work. You should pitch that as a main thing, right? And of course, there are tools we use, there are techniques we use in data analysis and stuff. But 10 years of your experience will be considered as experience, and you need to basically bring in your 10 years of experience from a business perspective, because as a data analyst, you'll be blending this two different areas, business knowledge and the data analysis, data knowledge, to bring in the insights. And also, you're not actually going to directly pitch as data analysts who will be working with the data. Of course, you will be to some extent, but you should be more focused on the jobs where you have a team to be led in the data analyst area. Because 10 years plus, you should be able to lead a team of data analysts, and the goal of this your team should be bringing insights to the business from the data. It could be anything, right? From, should we run a discount campaign, should we open up a new branch, or should we start a new product line, should we reduce our production in this particular product lines, should we introduce a new services based on our market industry. So these are the business questions you have. And being a data analyst, you are supposed to collect the related data, use your team to do some of the works, and finally submit a comprehensive report which essentially backs up your rationale. Thereby, the management could take the decision about whether to go ahead with the plans or not.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Thank you very much. All right. So I do have questions coming from LinkedIn and other channels. I have a question from Tejas from LinkedIn, and it says, "What is the role we should look for when we are good at both?" I don't know what do you mean by both. So, Sriram, if you could answer, if you understand this question.
Like he was actually asking for role, like which role I have to join, or I'm not getting her question properly.
Is it data analyst or data scientist is maybe the question. Which role should I look for? The
Okay,
question
sir.
is not complete. Assuming that it is either data analyst or data scientist, I would say anything is good to start with. Even if you start as data analyst, most of the work will be data scientist. Most of the work you'll be doing will be data preparation and mostly the data analyst work, right? So I don't think you do need a preference here. It really depends on which offer. You should look at the company and the projects and the clients they're working for, because the better the clients, more the data, bigger the team, you have better exposure to learning. So it's not the role, which is not much when you're entering. You should be looking at the company and the projects in general. Pages. I have a question from Vinayak Panchaman from LinkedIn. The question is, there is a lot of confusion within the industry on tech stack of data analyst and BI developer. What's your take on that? Is a Power BI developer a data analyst? Really very good question. Sriram, you can start with, then I'll add, of course.
Okay, sir. Like as a data analyst, we usually use the Power BI tool only for visualization. And as he said, like we also need some other tools also. Like in if you want to manipulate the data from the databases or data sources, we should also be using SQL for that. And BI is the most of the tool that used in every company for visualization, for in business perspective. So
All right, Sriram. I think that's pretty good. Just to add to that, well, BI developer is a person who is specialized in a BI tool. It could be Power BI in this case, all right? Data analyst is a role, right? So it's a more generic role. You may actually do a lot of data analysis with simple Excel, right? We do run a lot of, like, we can run an ANOVA test, we can run hypothesis testing, we can do if you're looking at, hey, whether your employees are happy, what's your employee satisfaction rate. So as a data analyst, it's an internal project. You collect you basically come up with 10 different questions, and you collect the values from all the employees, and then you do a certain analysis over it. You do the reliability testing and whatever it is. So data analyst is a more it's more a holistic or a holistic role, whose work is to analyze the data, come up with the insights which could help the decision maker. BI is one of the tools, just like your Excel, right? So it's like, if you don't know what you're doing with the data, Excel may not be much help. Excel is a very, very powerful tool. You can even do a lot of statistical research using Excel, even if you have a few 100,000 records. But if you don't know how to use the Excel, then you're not going to do much with the Excel except putting some data and filtering it and stuff like that. Similarly, knowing Power BI, all the options, is a one part of it, right? Unless you know the techniques, concepts of data analysis and the business side of it, you may not be able to do much with the BI tool. So to simply put this answer, as a data analyst, you must be knowing one of the tools, visual analytics tools, either Tableau or Power BI. All right, um, that adds your profile. But a Power BI developer cannot by default themselves call as a data analyst, because data analyst is a more holistic role. You need to be good in statistics. You need to be good in all the techniques. You need to understand the basics of the data. You need to understand the business side of it. I hope that answers the question. Any further questions? I have one question from Sneha. And the question is, have you attempted IABSC exam? Oh, okay. This question for you, Sriram. Have you done the IABSC exam and certification?
No, sir. Till not, no, sir.
Okay.
I'm planning to do that.
All right. Sneha, I spoke with some of the people who have done it. Data analyst is relatively new even for DataMites. We started only a year ago, I guess, whereas data scientists more than 8 years. So I spoke with a few of the people who have successfully completed. They say it's easy. The pass mark is only 60%. Normally, when you follow through the syllabus, you easily get about 75 to 80%. So you don't really have to worry about the IABS exam. There are also mock tests, which you get it from your DataMites contact. You go through the mock test. There are 2 sets of it, and you should be able to easily clear the IABS exam. Okay. I have a question from Shyam Sundar. I don't know if it's from LinkedIn. I suppose it's from LinkedIn. What's the scope of data scientist or analyst in India? That's a generic question. First question of salary. So Shyam, again, salary. He has a salary between 3 to 5 lakhs for now, but that's a trainee salary. And once he regularizes, he might be getting a salary, some increment about it. But I should reiterate, salary. Is it correct, Sriram?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So I should reiterate, your first salary shouldn't be a problem. 6 months, if you learn, and you could actually, based on your performance, get above the market rates. All right. Your second question is, what is the scope of data analyst or scientist in India? Huge. There are millions of jobs. In fact, a lot of big companies, I know, because I'm actually working on setting up a ODC for one of the German companies in India, especially for data scientists and data analysts. So there's a huge work packages coming to India. And a lot of companies are actually doing it in a really fast mode of setting up their own center of excellence for data analysts. Even I'm doing it in Rubix, because there is a huge scope for outsourced work coming to India in terms of data analysts and data scientists. So when you ask specifically about India, but in general across the world, you have nearly 2 to 2.5 million jobs being created in the next few years, as per McKinsey report. So in simple sense, there is no scarcity of jobs in the field of data scientists or data analysts. I have another question from Kumaraswamy from LinkedIn. How is the career of data science in abroad? Sriram, I will take this.
Okay, sir. Sure.
Yeah, if you could get a visa in any of this country, Canada, Australia, UK, US, in Europe, you might actually land a job in a week because there is a huge requirement. Even if you have decent knowledge, you will be taken into one of the jobs. I left Netherlands almost 7 years now. I've been there for 10 years. I have headhunters trying to hunt me, sending mails, calling me in this. So you can see the desperism. So there is a huge shortage of manpower in these areas. Even when you're applying for visa, if you're a data scientist or data analyst, it is relatively much easier for you to get the visa approved. Okay. I have two more questions. Does the interview ask about some Python questions? This is for you, Sriram. Sriram. Does the
Yes,
interview
sir.
ask some Python questions? Is the question from Suraj. Suraj asking you whether you had any
Okay.
questions from Python. Sriram.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Like the role is about the data analyst, and the role was specifically for Power BI and SQL, sir. So there was no Python question for an interview.
I have another question from Zavid. When it
Yes,
comes to
sir.
medical field, is it necessary to have a domain knowledge? Good question. Sriram, what do you think you can answer? And then I will add to it.
Sir, if you have some domain knowledge in certain field, it's good to for that, sir. Like whenever you want to analysis on that certain field, it will helpful for us. Like for the business require for business analysis, it will helpful for us because we have already some knowledge on that domain. So we can tell what is that, we can understand the data sets or data easily because of the domain knowledge, sir, I would like to say.
All right. To add to that, domain knowledge does help, but it's not a requirement. Your knowledge as a data analyst, like for any generic case, you should be able to analyze the data, come up with all the insights. That's more important. A specific knowledge and domain is not normally asked unless you already have the domain knowledge and you're applying for the same industry. Then you might get some questions on it. They will expect you to know something. Otherwise, it's not a requirement.
Sure, sir. Yeah, that's the point, sir.
That's it. Seems not much of question. We'll wait for another minute or so. DataMites team. If you have no further questions, you can just put that in the chat box. Okay. No more questions from any channel. Sriram, any final sentence, anything you would like to say to the people who are currently watching our session?
Sir, I would like to say practice more, sir. Like practice more and learn new things so that which you can apply in future in your business and in your job profile. And wherever you are working, you can, the knowledge should not be stopped. You should keep on learning the new things, sir.
Very good. So essentially, the summary, the bottom line from Sriram is practice more data sets. Don't limit yourself to what is being taught or a few data sets. The more you practice, more the knowledge you gain, and that will help you in your profile and career transition. Thank you,
Yes,
Sriram.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. So thank you everyone for joining the session. And of course, if you have any further questions, you can always reach DataMites with your question, or you can find me on LinkedIn and you can drop a question to me. I'm more than happy to answer. If you want to reach Sriram, you can basically get his details from DataMites. Contact DataMites on that. Thank you very much. Sriram,
Thank you,
all
sir.
the very best for your career. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone for joining the call. Have a good day. Bye-bye.